Personal finance is an important topic for all of us because how we manage our money affects every part of our lives. Good morning and welcome to Maryland Today. My name is Jeff St. Pierre. Today I have Hélène Reynaud with me. She's the president and CEO of GuideWell Financial Solutions. We're going to discuss several services that GuideWell offers and consider why these are especially important for women. Hélène, first of all, thank you so much for being here.
Well, thank you, Jeff, for having us.
Well, before we get into this today, why don't you please start by telling us a little bit more about GuideWell Financial Solutions and what you do there?
Yeah, sure. So GuideWell Financial Solutions, which many of your listeners might know as CCCS, Consumer Credit Counseling Service of Maryland and Delaware, is a local nonprofit. We've been in the community for about 51 years. And what we do really is provide a diverse, pretty varied set of services around personal finance, a lot of counseling and education. We help people in crisis, people who have overextended themselves with their finances, spend too much money, carry high debts on their credit cards, or really struggling to make their payments. But we also help people also plan for larger purchases and their long-term financial goals, like buying a home.
I know you help people from, like you said, all different financial backgrounds, all different situations. Why is it particularly crucial for women, though, to understand personal finance?
I feel like in general, and a lot of studies and articles recently have kind of validated that we tend to be less confident about money and money management than men. Having said that, about 40% of working women and moms are actually now the breadwinner in their family. And often the primary or the sole purchase and decision maker around financial decisions. And yet, we tend to be paid less for doing the same job. And we tend to also take more breaks throughout our career, raising our children, taking care of our elderly parents. And at the end of the day, we don't access and maximize the benefits, the financial benefits that we can get from our employers, like a 401k or Social Security benefits. So really, the good news is that we're going to live longer for the most part. The bad news is that we're going to have a lot less money saved and therefore possibly a less financially stable future.
So what services does GuideWell Financial offer to help women learn more about household finance and take a more active role in the money management situation?
Yes, so interestingly enough, the majority actually of our clients, and we serve about 10,000 families a year, the majority of clients are women in their 40s and 50s, working women, typically married with young children. So really, we offer a wide range of personal financial services, starting with budgeting, helping people, manage their day-to-day finances. We also help people build or rebuild their credit. Their credit profile is a very, very important part of their life. Managing their debt, prioritizing their financial decisions. And another service that we're really heavily involved in is really helping people with their housing situations, figuring out whether they should buy, they should rent, what can they afford. It's really a one-stop shop for women to come in and get the services and the assistance and the education that they need. We also know that women, tend to like to work with organizations that have a very practical approach and very strong ethical standards. And so I just want to point out that all of our counselors are certified and that our services are available in person or by phone. We have two major offices, one in Catonsville, right outside of Baltimore, as well as one in Wilmington, Delaware.
So how does GuideWell Financial help women create a stronger financial foundation for their families?
So really, I think the foundation of all of our services is our free financial counseling, which is really a financial and a reality checkup. So when people come in, they will receive a holistic review and profile of where their money is going. We review their priorities. We review their expenses. We look at their goals. We can help them build a realistic budget. So I think it's a very strong foundation for people. And it really serves as a level setting and a big eye-opener for most women.
And how likely are women to need credit counseling?
So I've been in this sector for about 15 years now, and I think we all need credit counseling.
Oh, sure.
We all benefit from it.
It's not just women. It's all of us.
It's not just women. But I think for women, again, it's really important because we tend to be in charge of the day-to-day budgets and finances of the household. So we really need to know where our money is going, where it ought to be going. We need to constantly prioritize the short-term kind of needs of the household versus the longer-term, planning for a vacation, planning for camp for your children, planning for your retirement, planning for supporting your parents. So all of these really are very important decisions. And I think that's And it all starts with credit counseling.
Absolutely. So when it comes to debt, Ellen, what options are generally open to clients?
So if clients don't owe too much money, they may be able to handle this by themselves and simply by tightening their budget, which we can review with them, and by reducing their expenses. Mm-hmm. Even small changes can go a long way, such as selecting a different cell phone plan or changing your shopping habits around food and eating out. Now, if you are in serious debt and you carry a lot of credit card debt, we may be able to qualify you for a debt management plan, which is a program that can last between 2 and 3 years, a full repayment of your debt program, where we negotiate concessions with your creditors, essentially reductions in rates and repayment periods. But at the end of the day, you make a single payment to us every month, and then we disperse your debt repayments to your creditors directly. This is a very structured program. It's easy for any participants to plan for it. It teaches you good, sound savings habits, and it does not impact your credit score as much as a debt settlement program, for instance, might.
Well, that's definitely a plus. Right now, we do hear a lot about student loan debt. It's a really hot topic these days. How does your agency help women who've taken out college loans?
Oh, yeah. So this is an interesting program. We started about a year ago. More women today than men actually attend college and pursue graduate degrees. But what that means is they end up owing probably larger loan balances as well. So what we have in place right now, we mostly focus on people who need to get a better understanding of what their student loan debt obligations are. So we review their student loan portfolio, if you want, and help them understand better what terms they sign up for. And we also help people who might be in default, and whether they're the signers, co-signers, sometimes the parents come in as well. So we can really help them look at the different options that they have. And if need be, we can help them negotiate directly with the student loan servicers.
So what help do you provide to clients who owe a lot of debt but don't have enough income to repay what they owe? I mean, saving is great and budgeting is great, but sometimes there's just too much on the plate.
All right. So obviously when people come in and they're in serious trouble, we're hoping for options for them, but sometimes they've gone, it's too late and bankruptcy is the only feasible option. So we are approved by the Department of Justice, and we can help people file for bankruptcy, providing the education and the counseling requirements and needs. And we can also help them around the time of the discharge to exit gracefully from bankruptcy and help them rebuild their financial lives at the end of the bankruptcy itself.
Well, Ellen, unfortunately, these situations do come up. People get divorced, or maybe a woman finds herself in an abusive relationship. But when that's all over, sometimes they find it hard to qualify for credit, or they need some help rebuilding their credit rating in general. What services does GuideWell offer to help these women?
Yeah, so this is really important and timely. A lot of people really want to find out, are interested in how to build or rebuild credit. We also know that about 10% of the adult population does not have any credit score whatsoever, totally credit invisible. So we have great partnerships with other organizations, including community-based and nonprofit lending institutions, such as Justin Peterson. So this is a recent program that we rolled out in the beginning of the year. Essentially, this allows people to come in, receive some basic financial counseling, and if you're interested in actually building their credit from scratch, they can get a loan in partnership with Justin Peterson. The loan program is called Save to Build. And essentially what people do is they will put aside, make a payment of $26 a month for a period of 12 months. That payment is reported to the credit bureaus. And at the end of the 12 months, people have saved $300, which becomes theirs. And at the same time, they can build a credit score from zero to a score in the mid-600s, which is a pretty impressive program. They build it safely, and then they can graduate to more mainstream financial products like a secured or a credit card, another product that can help them continue to strengthen their credit score.
Sure. And everyone's a little bit different, but $26 sounds like a manageable amount of money per month, too. So that's nice that you can use that to.
Yeah, and again, I think the product comes with a requirement that you get financial counseling, and during that session, we make sure that you do have that $26 available in your budget to make sure that people can be successful, because if they do not make that $26 payment, their default is also reported, and that's going to impact their credit as they're building it negatively.
Well, poverty is a big issue in America, and more than 1 in 7 American women live in poverty, and more than half of U.S. children who live in poverty belong to families headed by women. So what services does GuideWell have for clients who are in need in this way?
This is very true, and we're seeing reports, and especially local reports, including in the United Way, Alice reports that tells us that people who live in the poverty level or close to the poverty level are actually representing almost 35% of the population in this area, which is incredible. So we have enhanced our services so we can maximize, if you want, people's income. And one of them is to offer a free screening for public benefits, federal and state benefits. So this is a service that we've added. We've also recently hired an intern from the University of Maryland School of Social Work, which is also providing some family counseling for families who are really very stressed out by their financial situation. So we have those services in-house at this point. Still small scale, but we're definitely seeing a need.
So if somebody listening right now is interested in setting up an appointment to come into GuideWell Financial or to speak with you about this situation, how can they do that?
So there's 2 ways to contact us. The easiest way is to call our toll-free number, 1-800-642-2227, 1-800-642-2227, or to visit our website at GuideWellFS.org, GuideWellFS.org.
Well, it sounds like GuideWell Financial has services that would be helpful to just about anybody. But before we wrap things up here, Ellen, do you have any final thoughts on women in finance?
So a few things, obviously don't wait too long. If you feel like you're struggling with your personal finances, that you're finding yourself, having to make, difficult choices on where your money is going, even to cover your day-to-day expenses, give us a call so we can go over your budget and some of maybe the financial products you've taken and some of the responsibilities and the commitments you've taken. So that's definitely one thing. The other aspect of it is, again, women, we tend to be very, very busy and lose track of ourselves and our goals and our future. We spend a lot of time taking care of others. Again, it's really, really important at least once a year to take a look at your credit report and work on your budget. And again, if you can't manage by yourself, give us a call. Most of our sessions last 45 minutes. It's free. It's really worth the time and investment. And the last thing I wanted to mention is the majority of our staff, and we have about 35 people on staff, are actually women. And they're often women who have received or taken advantage of our services in the past, or women who have gone through some of those, hard times. So we are very compassionate and very understanding. So again, I would encourage anyone to call us or a reputable nonprofit financial counseling organization.
Do you want to give the contact information one more time for GuideWell?
Sure. It's 1-800-642-2227, or you can visit our website at GuideWellFS.org.
Ellen Reynaud, the president and CEO of GuideWell Financial Solutions, thank you so much for coming in, telling us more about this. We really appreciate the education today.
As always, thank you, Jeff, for having us.